Hello and welcome back. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make repeating geometric shapes in Adobe Illustrator that make sort of a unique pattern. You see this technique used a lot on the web with really simple logos. I wouldn't personally use this on a logo. It's kind of a really default and kind of lazy way to make a logo. I would recommend maybe using it more as a part of some design or something that you would use, but certainly that's up to you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to say is that this technique works best with symmetrical shapes. So you want the left and the right sides to look exactly the same. It just makes it a lot easier as we go along, and I'll show you. You'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an elliptical shape, and I'm just going to, it can be any elliptical shape. I'll go ahead and make kind of a skinny one. It'll be interesting. And I'll just set it to black and white for now. Certainly you can try to do this with a non-symmetrical shape, but and I'm not going to, and it, you can, if you can make it work, power to you. It can work. It's just a lot more difficult. So anyway, I'm going to use a symmetrical shape, and this is the one that I've chosen. So what we do simply is we select the shape, and we press Control C on our keyboard, and then Control V to copy and paste. We can get rid of this original one now if you want, just because now that when we copy and paste these, they should kind of show up in the same general area here. The next thing that we want to do is actually, let's go ahead and make another copy and paste. So Control C, Control V. And as you can tell, they're right on top of each other, and that's why we went ahead and deleted that original one. But now we're going to go ahead and open our transform box, and what we'll do is, if you don't see it over to your right here, you go up to Window and down to Transform, and that should pop that up for you. Or you can press Shift F8, it looks like. Okay, so with your transform box open, you select the newly copied and pasted shape, and you pick a nice round number. 20 seems to work really well, and so you put that in your rotate angle position box here, and go ahead and push 20 and enter, and it'll go ahead and rotate it for you. You could do 10 if that's too spaced out for you, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with 20 just for the ease of this tutorial. And then what we'll do is we'll select that newly rotated ellipse, and we'll copy, Control C, and paste, Control V, and we're going to change the angle to 20 degrees on that one, and we'll press OK. And we're going to do that until we go all the way around the circle. So I'm just going to do it real quick here. It goes pretty quickly, especially if you're using your hotkeys. Okay, and so now we've gotten all the way back around. You can see that it's very even and symmetrical because we used that symmetrical shape. If you want to make sure, you can go up to your align tools. You go to Window, down to Align, and that should pop up your alignment tools, and you can click Center vertically and Center horizontally, just to make sure if you want, but mine was already centered. I'm going to get rid of this white fill color so that all these lines are showing through. I'm going to select all of the objects, and I'm going to open up my Pathfinder. Once again, if that's not open, go up to Window, down to Pathfinder, and open it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this bottom left one that says Divide, and we're going to click on it. And that's going to pretty much break all these little areas up into individual shapes, but continue to keep this object grouped. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see this. Okay. Looks like my swatches aren't open, so I'm going to go ahead and there they are. Okay, so if your swatches aren't open, go ahead and open your swatches now. But now what we'll do is we'll take our direct select arrow, which is just this one I have selected here. You can press A on your keyboard to get it. And I'm just going to select some shapes around the object. I'm going to do like every other point here. And I'll hold down Shift so that I can keep them selected. Okay, and now what we'll do is we'll just pick a color and start filling this up with color. I'm going to take the other ones that I haven't filled yet and do a different color. And we can kind of just do the whole thing like this. And certainly, you're going to want to pick your own colors. The colors that I'm choosing are a bit ugly right now. You might want to pick a color palette that's more desirable. And I think after I do this row, I'm going to stop, because if I start doing all these little tiny shapes, it's going to take up too much of your time. So, let's do this last color here, maybe green. Okay, and you can kind of see where it's going to go from there. We would go all the way around and fill in all these colors, and you'd have an interesting shape here. If you want to get more into to the shapes, you can start filling them with gradients. And gradient meshes and that sort of thing, and that does a pretty cool effect as well. So we can take our gradient mesh, and do a color kind of like that or something. And you could go around and do that all the way around if you want. But anyway, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Please try a few different shapes on your own and see what you can do. Please subscribe to my blog, subscribe to me on Twitter and Facebook, and thanks for watching.